Oh, where are you? Oh, I've got to bloody change your battery already. Can you believe it? We haven't even started. Ah, one moment. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the Lazy Redhead. And if you didn't know,
I am the lazy.
Yes, yes, and yes, right? Just yes. The reason I'm saying yes loads is because, number one, I need to shift you over slightly because you're slightly offline. Make sure my body is covering this tart somewhat. And yes, I have my dinner with me. I know, guys. The way I see it, this here is a casual space, a casual, safe, anything goes space, right? We are not one of these polished channels. You know, it looks nice. And that, it is what it is. You know, you get what you see. Plus, I'm so hungry. This is more about timekeeping, or lack thereof, and the fact that I had a broken down car. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, did she just say the reason she's eating on camera and being unprofessional about the whole situation is because her car broke down? Yes, yes. It's called the butterfly effect in my life, yeah? One thing happens and it just throws everything off. Let's move on. Finding your style. Right, I've got to put my glasses on for this because I wrote it all down and everything. I know. Finding your style is as simple as finding your 5 faves. I'm going to go through what 5 faves are. And yes, they correlate around creativity, but they don't hone in on art. And there's a reason for that. Have you ever gone online and gone on Instagram? I've mentioned it in the past. Scroll on Instagram and one day you're thinking this is so inspirational, I'm feeling in a great place. You could go and look at that same reel the following day and you're being confronted with work, the same work that you were so inspired by the day before, but then ended up hating yourself and everything you've created. Have you ever had that? Have you ever experienced that? The silence is just giving you a moment to think about it. Because I'll be honest, I have. And I know some of you have because you've mentioned it or even outright said that sometimes that you need just that detox from social media, including this here channel, this beautiful channel that's so professional and highly polished. I think I'll just call it relatable. It's relatable, isn't it? I get it. I'm not offended at all. There's a few people actually I need to message to just check on their welfare. And yes, I do memorise everyone who comments. I can't help it. It's commenting, talking to you guys every week. So among these 5 faves, I will not ask you what your favourite piece of art is. Don't get me wrong, it is going to be hard to choose each 5 fave. Some of it might be easier than others, but I'm not saying that it's to be like, oh yeah, this, right? Try your absolute hardest. I realise that when I ask you these questions, you're probably going to choose different answers depending on the day or the month. I don't know, right? But ultimately, just don't focus on the fact that it might change tomorrow. Just focus on answering these questions to yourself in the moment today. Because there's a reason. Method in my madness. I know. I'm a mess. We are going to go through my first ever few pages of my sketchbook. My first ever few pieces of art for this channel. Okay? And we're also going to go over a few other bits of art. Namely, one video of me creating a realistic piece for a present, right? It's been on the go for many years, actually. I started in 2019 and it's not because it took me that long, it's just because I got bored, like severely bored, right? Anyway, I'm going to take you through all that. So, whilst we're eating and before we get on to our 5 faves, right? Who wants to see me eat for the next 20 minutes, right? Not that it takes me that long, it won't, but then I digest it, you get it, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video that I have called Messy by Choice, right? Now, what you're going to see is me doing a portraiture of my dear Winston, my Winnie Bago, my Wintmeister. And if you don't know who my weenie is, this is my weenie. That's Weenie. That's Ruby, who's getting jealous. Right, Ruby, down, darling. Darling, say hi to the people, Weenie. Oh, Weenie. Hello, darling. Winston is sort of 55% my husband's dog, right? I say 55 because are you done sneezing and ruining the whole situation? Fabulous, right? 55% his dog, and that he pays for his vet bills and his well-being, and likewise 55% of Ruby is mine. But you know, they're our children, we love them, and they're our babies. I thought I'll do a portraiture. I started this portraiture of him in 2019 when he was a bit younger, so there are going to be features that are still slightly slim. His ears still big, he's still yet to grow into his ears fully, so there's a few things like this on there, right? But I wanted you to see it because, and I wanted to finish it, and whilst researching for this, one of the things I wanted to do was to dig out some old work, and I found this piece, and I thought, actually, it's my husband's birthday this month, and I thought, do you know what, I'm gonna get this finished, I'm gonna film me finishing it, and then I'm gonna put it in this video, and it's called Messy by Choice. The reason I've called it Messy by Choice is because certainly my aesthetics now can be considered well, messy and juvenile, and I have been accused of needing more practice. Now the irony is that they're not actually wrong. When anyone says to me you need more practice, and I'm like, yeah, but not for the reasons that they are informing me in their opinion that I need to work harder at making a tree look like a bloody tree, right? Just because you can draw, the fact that I can draw, I'm not a photocopier. I find it a lot harder to be abstract. I find it so much more challenging to paint a tree that isn't as you see it, that is a garish pink and what have you, right? I find that more of a struggle, more of a challenge. And there's something so beautiful about creating work that is literally inside your, I want to see what you see in this world. That's what I appreciate. Now, I'm not getting on people that have mastered the art of hyperrealism, right? I'm not saying that my piece here is hyperrealistic. I would say it's like realistic, you know? It looks like Winston, it's a dog, it's made of pencil, brilliant, right? What I'm saying is I'm not a photocopier. I love people who are able just to draw out their inner, just, you know, I want to see your emotions. Right, you might be painting a tree, a field, and a peel with a beautiful sunset, right? But I want to see how you see it, because I'm sure that if I gave you all the same picture to paint from, or put you in the same field with the same perspective on the same weather, everything, each one of you would be different. And that is so beautiful. That's so interesting, isn't it? That we could all learn from one another. I just want you to see that, you know, I am happy to say that I'm messy by choice, and because I have this platform, it's easy for me to show that in a video whilst I'm eating my sticky beef bowl. I know, he's such a cutie pie, isn't he? Oh, you need to be in the mood, didn't you, for stuff like that. To do stuff like that takes a certain level of concentration, and just not one for it, predominantly. We're gonna discuss the 5 faves, right? So I'm just gonna run through what the 5 faves are, and they are as follows. Your favorite garment, right? So that, I don't know, it might be your favorite top, favorite dress, whatever. If it's because it's sentimental, fine. Okay, that's fine, because I can work with that. So I'm just gonna write a note here. Okay, so favorite garment, t-shirt, jeans, dress, whatever. Favorite colour or colour palette, because I realise, like all of us, if you are a totes colour slut like me, then you can't really define one colour. So, and plus it will change tomorrow even if you did. I would try and nail down the palette as like 3 colours, you know, like a triptych of colours, give you an idea of what I mean. So like this, right? So take one of them, your favourite one. Sheets are available on my website, by the way, for a donation. Okay, there we go. But that wasn't like a plug-in. That wasn't like a way to kind of get you to purchase something. It was just that some people ask, you know, and I've got loads of them, so just have a look. Right, anyway. Favourite interior design. So if you have a favourite room in your house, that could be your kitchen, it could be a nook, right? Figure out why it's your favourite, that thing. If you have a favourite interior designer, even better. My 2 are, and I'll move out of the way, because I'm going to show you an example. I nailed my 2 favourite interior designers to 2 people. One, Lawrence Welland-Bowen. I know, right? Oh my God, lush. This one actually, neon lights on the ceiling as the lights, genius. And the other one is Abigail Hearn, or Hearn. I can never say the A, so I just go Abigail Hearn. Her stuff is very dark, black, full of textures. So when I say textures, she's very much into sort of this kind of like tribal aesthetic, right? So like here, you've got this kind of rattan or kind of grass, you know, lampshade. Absolutely delicious. Love her aesthetics. Now, my aesthetic is if these 2 had a love child and that love child became a room. I'm going to take you through my examples of all these things in a moment. I'm just giving you a run through. So the next thing is favourite texture. Right, so fur, concrete, I don't know, smooth, gloss, satin, or I don't know, looking down into a bowl of dried rice. I don't know. Choose your favourite texture, okay? I understand that textures can kind of cross over, can't they? So like fur, for example, there's loads of different types of fur. So I understand that they could be broad. I just need you to just be general about this right now, okay? So try not to overthink it, because I can do that. And last but not least, believe me, not least, but your favourite sound. So your favourite song, music, genre, that kind of thing. Nail it down. This is just a guide, by the way, that I have been given over the years. I remember asking myself the same question when I was at college doing my foundation diploma. That was kind of where it all began for me. Taking art seriously as a way to earn money or start a career, right? One of the things that was huge, and it doesn't matter how old you are, where you are in your education, if you have an education in art and you're kind of going it alone, whatever, right? Everyone's so focused on this idea of finding your style, right? Literally, I'm going to show you what I mean, because I think visually, we're visual people. I need a pee though, one moment. Okay, there's loads of different ones, so we're going to go with the top one, okay, which is how to find your art style. Below that is how to find your art style for beginners. At the top, we have Kesley Rodriguez, okay. This one has 1.3 million views, and she had posted, I think, 2 years ago. Right, so here we go. How to find your art style fast in 3 easy steps. Gonna skip.
The way that it is, but you can choose to make those decisions. You can put yourself in situations you were.
Okay, so step 1.
It's really not that hard. It just takes practice, like anything else, and it takes deliberate practice.
Okay, so she's basically saying that you have to make these decisions consciously, right, and very deliberately. Right, fine. Intro done. I'm just going to take her through, so 3 steps. So we're just going to have a look at the 3 steps that Kelsey advises, okay? So step 1, collecting inspiration.
The first step to this process is just figuring out what you want your art to look like. This sounds easy. It can actually be quite difficult because there's often a difference of like the art that you like looking at and the art that you like making. So really try and take time to reflect on the difference between the two.
So she does make a good point, actually. The reason I'm choosing Kelsey Rodriguez is because she is well known for this kind of face-to-face video dialogue, and also for breaking stuff down. Now, she isn't wrong in that there is a difference, okay, which is why the 5 faves are predominantly focusing on the things that you are naturally attracted to. Oh, this attraction has been building up over many years, so, and influenced by many things. That could be TV, magazines, your mum, your dad, your sibling, the people you hang about with, or shop windows, right? Memories sort of in there, really deep down in there, that you can't have access to, but somehow, somewhere, all these tiny little moments, things, events have all formed the likes and dislikes that you now have, okay, that make you you, that make you the individual, which is why I have not focused on tell me your favourite artist or what have you, because that is kind of going down the road, and if you're not in a mood for it, and if you're not strong enough at that time, now this isn't me criticising you, because believe me, I'm only saying this out of principle of experience. There are days I would not be able to turn on social media or Instagram if I'm having a block and I'm feeling crap about myself, right? The last thing you want to be doing is looking at someone else's work, because you start to then go,
see, you're never going to be like this. You're shit in comparison to this person's done it already, so you might as well just give up now.
Who wants to hear that from their gremlin? Their horrible little cretin gremlin? No, shut up. We don't want to hear you. So again, this is why I'm focusing on things that are really dead easy. You should know instantly, and you're not going to have to just like overthink it. That's what I'm saying. The thing that comes to your mind the most instantaneously, go to it, get it, right? It will make sense at the end, right? But I can't really reveal it, because then you're going to be like gearing yourself. Your subconscious is going to be kind of keeping that in mind, and I don't want you to. I want you to come upon it, okay? Right, let's go. Step 2.
What kind of art you actually enjoy making. And this is also something that you'll just get more experience and more data on as you progress in your art career and your journey as an artist. But what I want you to do is to collect a bunch of pieces of art that you gravitate towards. I want you to branch out, find a ton.
So the collation of other people's artwork instinctively comes. That's kind of the first move you make, right? You'll have like an archive. I do as well. But the problem is with that, again, is that it's just too many things and too many gears and what have you, right? And it's controversial as well. And the reason it's controversial is because you can start kind of erring so close to like plagiarism and stuff like that without even knowing it. Now, the reason why I talk to you about this is because you want to find your style. Now, there's no shame in being influenced by other artists. I do it all the time, okay? You do it with me. I share my stuff, therefore you're naturally going to be influenced by whatever I do, if that's the sort of route you want to go down, or you find something I've done is amazing and you copy it directly. Sometimes you just do this. It's like art by appropriation. At the end of the day, there's no real original idea, and we're all stealing from one another, and that's just the fact of the situation. If you were to do a direct, like, absolute replica of my work and then sell it as your own, no, because there's no excuses for that, is there? You're just copying my work, like literally copying. But if you did something that was very much akin to my work, right, and almost somewhat similar in terms of certain if you haven't consciously made any changes, that's when that's a problem. If you've made something that's similar to my work, but you've kind of made your own change, and you feel bad, don't feel bad. You know, I'm on social media. Sometimes it comes with the territory, okay? I'm not naive, I'm not stupid. It comes with the territory, okay? Don't worry about it. This is me having a dig. But this is why we are not going to We're not going to discuss what art you like and find pieces you like and put them on a wall. This, for me, it's just, I mean, look at Kelsey Rodriguez's video. I'll link the videos I'm doing down below. Look at it. You might find it useful. But historically, it's really not. 3, making a plan.
Now that you've taken a bunch of notes on how all the pieces of art...
Did we do like number 1?
Wow. And now that you've taken notes on how all of the pieces of art you've collected are connected, that's a tongue twister, I want you to take all of these characteristics and make them into goals. Think about if you were creating a university course on like this movement or this collection of art, that exhibition that we mentioned.
Okay, so, right. Okay, fine. Yeah. You would have needed to gone to university to really understand what she's on about there, right? I'm not saying that those who haven't gone to university would not be able to do it. That's not the case at all. But I just think that doing it like this, it sucks the life out of it for me. And this is because of my experience with university. It triggers me slightly, it just triggers me. For those who haven't been to university, you might actually find this really helpful. But for me, it just triggers me because I found that university, although very useful and got me where I wanted to be on certain things, I did feel that the experience on reflection sucked the life out of creativity. So I will expand on this a lot more when I talk about the growing it back, how to grow it back. Now, it is that thing that we all are born with as a child. Yeah, you kind of create without judgment. You don't think about it too much. It's just instinctual because that's all you have really, isn't it? And you don't know how you feel about things, but children just, they learn through the world, you know. They start off by putting everything in their mouth, right? Yeah, and sticking everything up their nose. I don't know why. I don't know what data they're getting from that, but whatever. You do you, babes. You do you. And then you kind of move on to finding colour and painting and things and messes and glitter. You know, when you're watching my nephew and he's just kind of aimlessly doing stuff, I'm so jelly belly. I'm like stood there like over his shoulder like, he doesn't think about it. And although you could criticize art, it's not about me undermining the need for criticism, like genuine, and not in a bad way, but just like a genuine thought process. Like, let's break this system, let's unpack this. It's not about that, right? It's just the act of doing it, okay? We all have an objective, a notion, a body of work that is conceptualized or whatever, fine. I'm literally talking about that unfathomable sense of joy and excitement that you get as a child, like, right, when creating work. That's all I'm talking about. We didn't do 2, but I can only assume that she's wanting you to gather the work, find out what's similar about the work, i.e. whether it's a particular movement or whether it's a particular colour or texture or whatever, I don't know. Kind of gather that data and then analyze that data as to what's so similar about each one of those factors, right? Fine. Okay. Thanks, Kelsey. Legend. No. It wouldn't work for me. I'm not the authority on this, right? And although we're kind of looking at people's videos and potentially how other people do it, because I'm all about like the cooperative. You are a collection of decisions, experiences, other people, all kind of rolled into one. And as you, it's like a big ball of snow, isn't it? You kind of, as you kind of go through life, like each roll is a year, for example, you're picking up more snow and you're kind of developing this orb, essentially, orb of stuff, right? You collect the best bits for you. Becomes your aesthetic, your likes, dislikes, all that kind of thing. But we're orbs made up of us rolling through it. Do you see what I mean? Rolling through the shit of life. Sorry, that's just my extra personality coming out there. I mean, let's look at some shorts, shall we? Don't find your art style, shape it. Ooh, let's have a look at her.
So, you want to find your art style? I have good and bad news. The bad news is you don't have to find it. Because the good news is it's already here and there.
Right. Who is she? Who are you? Who is she? She is amazing, because that is exactly what I'm trying to get at. Laboriously. I've got to get the video out, haven't I? I've got to make it big. I can't do it in a short. Bitch won't get paid for that. It's reality YouTube, guys. Exactly. You already have everything you need. You have everything. You don't need to actually go on the internet. You will find that I haven't actually, you know, encouraged you to go on the internet. We are looking at videos because, like I said, Cooperative. There are so many videos out there about finding your style. How do you find your style? Like, if we go into now, how to find your art style for beginners. How to find your art digital. How to find your... Okay. It's everywhere. It's constant, right? Well, let's come out of it because she's just said it in one fell swoop. She's amazing. You're absolutely right. You already have it, which is why I asked you to get your favourite garment, your favourite colour, your favourite room in your house, and why. It might, in fact, the room could just be a wall. If there's a particular wall you love in your home, or a nook, right, or a space, picture it. Just take a photo of it. Okay, you can't bring the room to me, right? Favourite texture, right? That could be a body of textures, because I'm generalising it, or a specific one. That is totes up to you. And your favourite sound, okay? Sound would be music, genre, whatever, you know. It could be white noise, it could be brown noise. I don't know what you're into, yeah? Just pick something and gather it all. Let's go to a favourite garment. Okay, so mine's a pair of shoes. Art haul or garment haul, found these. This also is tethered to one of my favourite colours at the moment. Like I said, nightmare. In fact, actually, it's a palette. My favourite palette. Let's go with palette because I'm greedy. This isn't sponsored, by the way. Okay. Oh my god. Look at them. Oh my word. Oh my god, they're better than online. Now, I've wanted these for a while, okay? They were in the sale on the Public Desire website and they are beautiful, okay? Now, I realise, right, that this is not art for you. It's art somewhere, absolutely. It is art, because a creative endeavour doesn't just kind of spit out two-dimensional paintings or drawings for a white cube, does it? No, it is sound. The things you wear, despite whether they are a pair of joggers that you've got baby puke on right now, or you've been ruffling around in the garden, you've got leaves in your hair, all of those things have been designed by someone. Remember Devil Wears Prada, when that moment about the blue jumper, the belt? No, it was the belt. It was the belt. That belt, who was seemingly the same. There was kind of like a side swipe, and she was saying like that jumper was that particular cobalt blue jumper had been created by someone in a room very similar. All of this, you know, all of this stuff, no different. For me, this is wearable sculpture. And I know it's still winter, but like I said, they were in sale. I've been eyeing them up. Look how beautiful they are. I had to get a size up, but then I figured, who cares? If I wear socks with them, I can beef them out. Socks and sandals, guys. I'm going to make it work, okay? If it means I can wear these and I need a couple of mil on my feet, socks and sandals. I'll make it happen. I'll make it work. So that is one of my favourite garments. It is new. Whether it will change tomorrow, it might do, but we're not on about tomorrow. Tomorrow's a different day. We're on about today, right now, what we're doing. That brings me on, obviously, to my favourite colour. My favourite is the combination of pink and red. That is my favourite. Now, you might think that has a lot to do with Valentine's coming up and stuff. No, it's always been a combination I've always loved. It was a combination I loved because I remember when I think I was about like 15. Someone had said to me that it's what is it, a fashion faux pas to wear pink and red together, and I was thinking,
Oh, I love that.
and then from then on I was almost like arrogantly obsessed with the idea that pink and red will work, because I'll bloody make it work. I know, stubborn. Right, let's put these on. I'll let you know by my face. Oh my god, oh my word, slightly bigger than needed, but it's a slip-on, it's a sandal, and fortuitous. Oh my god, I'm really asking a lot of my joints right now, but I do have a set of red socks on. Oh my word, I have not pulled this position in years. Look at that. Yeah, okay, I can make it work. I know, it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Ah, and my Christmas, which I still haven't finished. If we will get it finished for next year. That's what I'm talking about. That there is pure joy. And it is the colour palette I then built my bedroom and bathroom around. Bathroom's not quite finished, but the bedroom is absolutely finished. Now, had I not done the bedroom, it would be this room, obviously, because it's my studio, it's our safe space, we love it. But in this case, it is my bedroom. So I am gonna meet you there. Hey, oh, vlog style situation slash body double situation. If you don't know what body doubling is, it's more prevalent in like people with ADHD. Not saying I'm having it, just saying I love it. Where you've got a big task to do, your brain's freaking out slightly, and you just, oh, it's just one of them. So I decided, because I can't have you all here helping me physically, which would be awesome, because us bitches would have this shit done in an instant, because together we're stronger. You know, I decided to put the camera on and just have you here with me. Obviously this week we are talking about my style, aren't we? So, and the part 2 is obviously going to be growing it back. And I think the reason I did it in 2 actually was because they kind of go hand in hand. In order to kind of grow it back, you kind of need to know my journey, you know, and the things I've discovered along the way. So that was my thinking. It makes sense once you see it all. But today, as part of finding my style, we are updating the old clothes rail. My sister is trying to, I'll call her. I don't think she's going to answer. My sister never answers, right? This is the thing. She's shocking. Actually, I better put this on charge. Where's my charger? And in all the fuss of it, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Why am I surprised? So yeah, I thought I'd just pop the camera on. Let's start again. Thought I'd pop the camera on to get this done. And also, I can talk to you about all that. So I needed to update my clothes rail for my room. As you know, I've been decorating. No, you had your chance. You had your chance. I've been decorating, haven't I? Somewhat inspired. They kind of inspired one another. The decorating was inspired by my New Year's priority, because we don't do resolutions around here. My New Year priority, which was do everything that makes you happy. And that kind of consists of like every aspect of my life. If it makes me smile and brings joy in my little life, I'm having it. The whole minimalist thing, out the window. Well, downstairs is minimalist because the kids are just so messy, so it would be ridiculous. But my personal spaces, i.e. my bedroom, my bathroom, and my studio, go wild. World is my oyster. And then that extended on to the things I wear. Now, I've always been I like things that are different. I've always liked a bit of a difference, you know? But, you know, I've always sort of stayed away from things that I think, oh yeah, I would wear that. But would I wear it, you know? Because I always feel that's that guilt that when you spend the money and you don't end up wearing it, all out the window. All out the window. I'm wearing stuff that makes me happy. Loud and proud. That's the kind of vibe I've gone for. My wardrobe, it looks like my artwork. Colourful, bold, different, fluffy, and sometimes sparkly. All of it. The whole 9 yards. Literally from head to toe. Did I get that around the wrong way? I did. I know I did. I'll realise what I've done in the edit. In aid of that, the rail has arrived. My lazy red threads, which is my side hustle, this is all in tangent with the whole thing. So it's a full thing, right? Now, these are conscious decisions that I've made, right? But this has been kind of in production, I would say, for a few years since I started the channel. You know, when I made the commitment to start the channel and overcome that obstacle, which is the confidence barrier, which anyone would get, and like the weird freakiness of like talking into a camera for the first time. That was weird. Now it's just like, what would I do without you? What would I do? Once I started to embrace it and just kind of like, who cares? It all just like floodgates started coming. Everything started to like go boom, 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 boom. It was like I made a decision that almost unlocked the house. Rather than unlocking a door into a room, it unlocked an entire universe, essentially. And that's kind of how it all came about, you know. One door was attached to the other and so on and so forth. I know I'm terrible with my analogies. They really are random and like absolutely overworked, like everything in my life. More is more.
More is more.
And I feel like this is such a great time to talk about, you know, my style, how I got there. And for not only you guys, because I think it's a great thing to document, but also for me to, you know, have a moment to like reflect back, because, you know, life is like a freight train sometimes, certainly for me. If I stop for too long, my mind starts to like eat itself. Oh, they do go into the floor. All right, well, we're going into the floor then. So my mind starts to eat itself, and it can be very traumatic, you know, so I'm always on the go. But what that does is you miss out on so much. You miss out on so many other little things, little gems, you know. So I think with this, it's kind of my reflection and my stopping and my taking a moment, if you like, has been almost controlled because I've had an excuse, I've had a reason and a direction. I think if you were to sit there and aimlessly do it, bad news. So yeah, I'm jibber-jabbering. It's what I'm doing, and I don't know how much of this I'll edit. I don't know whether I'll edit at all. Also, me pointing the scissors at you. Also, oh, no, it's gone again. See, this is what's happening. It's painful to vlog because I know that the edit is going to be absolutely like laborious, you know. So yeah, we've gone for gold. Sparkly as well. Didn't realise how sparkly it was. Don't start with that dog. Honestly, the most mother... What, not wanting your lunch? Oh, shit. I think my daughter is going mental. I've got to go and sort my daughter out because next door's dog is an absolute... Think of the worst naughtiness word, and it's not even close. Not even close to it. I'm busy. Okay. Situation under control. Yeah, so I want to get this done. I'm going obviously down south soon, and my jobs are mounting up again. I always seem to do this. Always seems to kind of like come like that, you know. I'm not under control. I mean, it's Tuesday and my mission today was to get all 4 videos completely completed, uploaded, done. So have the rest of the week to get the house ready, get me ready, sort the kids out, you know, just try and relax and start my holiday early. Obviously, I wouldn't call it a holiday. It's more like a mini break because we're only going for a couple of, like, literally 2-3 days. So I wouldn't call it a holiday. So I just want all these things done so that when I come home, I'm like, oh, I know I'm coming home to like beauty and fabulousness, you know, so that if I find it too stressful, because Salisbury is not it's a city, but it's more like a fat town, you know, like a chubby town. That's kind of what it's like. Equally though, it's a lot busier than it is here. You know, and I've been here for years now. I haven't been home since 2019, so it's been a few years. I am nervous about putting this up myself. My brother-in-law, Dean, hey dude, was going to help me tomorrow morning. So I'm not going to cancel those plans, until this is up and I'm 100% happy with the structural sound situation of it. But I'm an independent woman, you know. This is not, and it's huge, it's floor to ceiling rails, it's like double rail. It's actually commercial. It's for a bloody shop. I know, but it was so beautiful and it was cheap as well. I know that you think you are smaller than you are, but I'm telling you now, darling, you ain't fitting in here. Like, right, and if you come in, it means you have to help mummy with this. And I don't see how that's going to happen, you know? I know you love your mummy. It's trying so hard. That's how much room we don't have, darling. Don't burp and then... Oh, no, Winston. It's ridiculous, darling. It is actually silly. Why don't they have spatial awareness? Do you know what I mean? Like, why on earth can't they see that trying to wedge themselves in here, it's not going to happen? Look at it. Look, he's trying so hard. And now he's backing up into the situation. Okay, now you're going. Brilliant. You've realised, have you? He's got bubble wrap stuck to his... Winnie! Glad it was him, not her, because she would have absolutely lost it. She's just so highly strung, like her mother. Yes, I said it. We were all thinking it. Now, we've got these big things right now. I don't think for a second that these are going to be anywhere near what we need structurally. I think they're going to be pathetic. So we have got some very cumbersome fixings indeed. Okay, I'm going to do that because I'm assuming that goes into that. I know. Never assume, guys. Never assume. Ah, maybe they're already on. Oh, I see. Oh, I see they're already on. Oh my God, brain.
Brain!
We're putting the frame together. Then we need to mark out where each thing goes. Now there's 4 of these and I have got these giant like fixings that need to go in the wall. You get it. You totes get it. Right, so there's one bit done. I'm just making it up as I go along, but it's so great that you're here because I'm useless on my own. I'm one of these people that honestly cannot be left unsupervised most of the time. I'm sure most of you are like that though. Come on. Now, safe space, safe space. Don't lie to me. So now this is the bottom of there. Oh no, this is the top. So that goes in like so. Cool, 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 cool. Are you going in or are you just pretending to go in? Like what's going on? Oh, you sack of shit. I'm getting overwhelmed, you see. Right, okay, so we need that off. That goes in. I'm so confused. Right, so how does that go in then? Oh, I get it. That needs to go in there then. This goes in like so. Okay, okay, I get it. I get it. These need to go on that. We are getting there, slowly. Right, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to do this. I'm not giving up. I will not give up. This is happening today. I'm going to do it myself, whether I like it or not. It's happening. You then come up and go there. Oh, this sack of shit. See, finding your style, such a chore. Such a bloody chore. We are not going to give up. Where have you gone? Ugh. Nightmare. I'm trying to get this nut on here. Quite large, but it's not biting. Does that make sense? It's not biting. Don't be a slag. Right, you can stay there then, because I can't even be bothered with you anymore. Can't even build the thing, you know? How the f am I going to get it on the pissing wall? I can't even build it. Right, we're going on whether you like it or not. Right, stay there. There. Oh, shit myself. Don't be a cock. Okay, we did it. Guys, Guys, we did it. How on earth I did it, I don't know. So don't ask me. Don't ask me to figure it out. This is why I needed you with me. Now you know. I'm gonna have to restart you. I'm gonna restart you. There you go. I'm doing this. It's happening, guys. Proud of myself. Proud of myself. Are you proud of me? One thing I've realised is that it's upside down. Right, I can do this. I can do this. Don't take the bloody light out, you stupid slag. Right, slowly, 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 slowly. See, this is the problem. Okay, I had to do that. Had to do it. Get up, you dick. Everything's fine, guys. Everything is fine. We can do this. I don't know how we're going to do that. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Go in. You can do it. Yes, I did it. Oh my God, that felt good. Right. So we need to lift it about an inch. What do we have in the house that I can use? We need to lift it about an inch. My phone. Oh, here it is. Got an idea. Controversial as it is, I've got an idea. Okay, we're going to do it. Right, so the plan is we've got a mirror here. We've got a mirror here. I'm going to put this there. Can't do it on my own though because it's too heavy. It's I'm going to swear there. It's very cumbersome. I've got a mirror here that can go up a bit because it can't really go anywhere else, can it? No. That can go up a bit then. That one. This rail then goes here. This thing goes under the mirror. I think we can get... The microphone is being a slag as well. My potty mouth is literally... Why are you being an ass? Potty mouth is on fire today, guys. On fire. Thing is, I want to do it on my own. Well, I want it done now because I'm in a state now I can't get out of. Shit. I'm going to have to call help for help. One friend is 2.5 hours away, raging. My brother-in-law is 40 minutes away, but he's lunching with my sister, rude, because, you know, I need help right now. He can't come until tomorrow morning. If my husband sees the utter carnage, he will go mental. Don't judge me, guys. I can feel you judging me through the camera. Okay, right, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Finding your style. How are we doing so far? Okay, I'm going to call Gezza-Bean. I'm in a situation I can't get out of.
In what way?
Okay, I'm vlogging. I'm going to... Yeah. All right. I finally finished it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of a tour. It's a small space, okay? It's a small space, right? So what I wanted to do is obviously the rugs. You can see the rugs onto the beautiful bedding with mix match pillows, cushions, Frida Kahlo, obviously. This is Boobmeister's little bed. No, she does not sleep on the bed with me. It does go sort of scooch down here. We have got our inspo wall and I have a collection of bags just because. My favourite artwork, right? The one that gives me so much life and smiles and just, I love it. Little thingy there. I've got a sunset light. That is a alarm clock that basically wakes you up with a sunset. Now, I'll have to move back a bit. This is a commercial rail and it is fixed to the wall, as you can see. Like so, and it's a double rail and I have it monochromes and then rainbow. Okay, this is then my like vanity skull bag. Who doesn't need a skull bag with a bow? I know. I'm really proud of it. It's probably my best work so far is my bedroom. And one of the reasons I started to do my bedroom was because I have been finding life fairly difficult of late. I needed something to focus on. So this, let me get it out of the way. This thing was what I created as like my mood board. So the lampshades and obviously the roses with the lights, my bedding style. So I even chose everything for like put the curtains on there and the textures and all the little bits. It was such a joy to make this mood board. Still the same level of creativity, right? But you know, just channeled in a different way, okay? So I kept this mood board for this video when I knew that I was going to be doing finding your style video. I thought I'm going to keep this because even if you have nowhere to focus this energy, this creative energy, and you're finding everything else overwhelming, rather than not being creative, right? Avoiding it is almost torture in itself, I feel. You know, you can't switch off your creativity, can you? You know, it just needs to be channeled in a different way, in a different avenue. I didn't paint my room. My room is already black, i.e. the Abigail Hearn, right? That's my influence on it. I love those dark, rich kind of, just beautiful things. And then coupled with Lawrence Welling-Bowen, those big, bold patterns, colour, pattern clash. He's just like, love it, right? That is the sort of conversation I want to be amongst. Really zings me. I feel a zing. I'm zinging. My bedroom at the moment is my favourite room, and that is why. Textures. Oh, well, everyone knows I'm a sucker for a texture. I think I would have to go one of my favourite textures. Okay, I've got an indoor and outdoor texture. My indoor texture, velvet. Right, now I know that velvet is like the charcoal of my world to most people. When people touch velvet, can't handle it, right? Makes their fingers go dry, they want their hands to fall off and throw them in the field, all that kind of thing. But for me, velvet is luscious, deep, luxury, premium. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. It's just so sexy and comforting as well. Velvet to me is just the almighty god of fabrics, and specifically, I mean, I like all colours of velvets. I've got pinks, blues, reds, blacks, you name it. I've got a velvet, and I can assure you I will have something velvet that colour. My all-time favourite velvet colour though, red. My husband's Valentine's box, red velvet. Look how bright, bold and beautiful. Don't you just look at this and go,
I love it.
Remember I said about my New Year's priority, because we don't do resolutions. Resolutions set us up to fail. It sets everyone up to fail. I don't know where that came from, but we've renamed it. New Year's priority is things that make me smile, things that make me happy. When I look at things, I want to see joy. I want to feel joy. Favourite texture outside would have to be grass. You know, I love a grass. A lot of my artwork, though, is very much influenced by that texture alone. Whether it's in a tree, in the sky, it could be snowy, it could be rainy, it could be sunny. No matter what, texture of grass for me is evolved into a very distinctive way I use certain materials. Now, if you've been here a while, you know exactly what I'm on about, and you'll be able to think back to about several videos where I've highlighted this. But for me, my outdoor all-time texture is grassy. Grass. Love, love, love. And my favourite sound, that is really any sound that makes me emotive. Okay, so at the moment I'm loving, what am I loving? I've made like a little studio playlist for myself. Okay, so I'm loving Joan Osborne. Love Joan Osborne. Love Meredith Brooks. Loving Janis Joplin. Loving Fleetwood Mac. That's the kind of the vibe and the whole track of the Dirty Dancing movie. I love that. The whole lot. It doesn't matter what song's on there. I've got on here in my little sound notes. The reason I put sound is because I really do believe it does, in fact, just bring a new element to the way I create in a way that so much is unable to, right? But the music for me is just like, I don't know what it is. It's just it's on a level that I can't attain anywhere else, right? Or on anything else. So I am doing a commission at the moment, 2 big pieces for someone's like private music room, okay? So because it was a music room specifically, I did ask the customer to send me a list of music they love, so that when I create their work or the pieces that I have in mind for their space, I would do that whilst listening to their soundtrack. And for me, that is very much an individual thing that I've developed since I started this channel, okay? Because I've noticed that when I put certain music on, when I put certain tracks on, depending on what mood I'm in, they can switch me like that. So if I'm feeling extremely down, I can put like a soundtrack on that somewhat switches that round, and it really does inform my mood. I get so much more out of creating then had I not done that. So that's what I'm saying. This is all about nailing down what you already have about you. This is about you discovering that yes, you already have a very distinctive aesthetical picture in mind, right? But you're focusing on the art. Yeah, the two-dimensional, three-dimensional thing that the artist spit out at the end, and that's what you're focusing on. And you look at people's exhibitions and they've got like some sort of a cohesion throughout their work. They've had that longer than they've been creating work. You're no exception, because despite whether you've been to art school or not, yeah, or whether you're formally trained or not, whatever that may look like, right? It doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. Because the first thing we all start doing is art. That's how we start understanding the world about us, is that instinctual creativity as a child. All that you know and learn between the ages when you're born till 6 is locked down. Your value system will be based on whatever a child has developmentally got to at that point, their thoughts, feelings, all of that. The foundation is set at 6 years old, as low as that, right? Now, in order to get there, that whole time is pretty much filled with a creative process. So you already have it in there somewhere deep down. If you want a particular style, or you're excited by an idea or a notion or a color palette or a texture or a way of creating, those are semantics, right? Those are things we come across as we develop as an artist, yeah? The foundation has not changed for me. So what I'm going to do now is prove that to you, and I'm going to show you the first piece in a sketchbook, which would be the first sketchbook that I started for this channel. Oh, go and get that. Can you see me? Can you see me? Okay, you can see me, cool. Right, water break, sorry guys. All this chatting doesn't make you half parched, doesn't it? Parched. Okay, here we go. Right, so this is my first sketchbook. Proof, let me pull you down a bit. Number 1, May 2022 to June 2022. My whole thing then was literally sketchbook work. Everything I did was sketchbook related. I didn't really do much work on outside of a sketchbook, and this is where I started, okay? So I was mark making for a mark making video. These marks haven't really changed. Some of them have, but you know, the fact that I love mark making, the idea that I mark make has not changed. Okay, so this was the first piece. Look at those thumbnails. Oh, I love them. Absolutely love them. How absolutely stunning are they? In watercolour. And then obviously I did a bigger one, and that is Ennerdale. And I can't tell you how many times, not only have I visited Ennerdale, but I have all my works created somewhere amongst Ennerdale. Okay, so Ennerdale for me is literally just yonder from where we live. It's actually the view that we have in our back garden. It's just such a beautiful place, and I look at this and I don't feel bad about it. Is it tighter than I would normally do? Yes, it's a very sort of not hyper realistic, but it's very much on the nose in terms of its color palette. Those greens, those grays, the sky, everything else, it's very much that kind of thing. But even then, I was trying to gear towards being a bit looser, and watercolour's a great way to do that. Watercolour is one of those mediums that very much about yielding the water, and that's what it is. And I like the fact that watercolour has its own agenda. You know, it can't be easily manipulated. Each medium comes with its own pros and cons and their own way of kind of mastering them. But I'm very much always geared towards those materials that are just have a life of their own. They're like sassy. Love it. So we'll just do a couple of pages. The reason I'm doing a couple of pages because I've been getting all my old sketchbooks out for the sketchbook part. We've been looking back and making sure that although sketchbooks are finished, they are like in themselves, that there's no more pages or leaves or whatever. They are not done. Their work is not done. Their job is certainly not over. We still have a lot in them. So this was predominantly how I used to work at art school. Very monochrome, messy, expressional, big sheets of paper. That was what gave me life. And this, although I love it, was proving difficult because I didn't feel comfortable. It was just like something wasn't right for me. I loved the colour. I loved using colour. But again, I always imagined that colour was a distraction back at art school, and that was something I was very conscious of even when I started it again. So I then decided, well, get the graphite pencils out, because what I remembered was I loved graphite. Now, I had to go all the way back to that first foundation diploma, right? So do not misunderstand me when I say that those 7 years of my degree, was not a waste of time, but in terms of that pure love of creating and discovering materials and putting things together, it was drained for me. It was sort of sucked out of me more so than it'd ever been before. In order to do what I love to do and why I love art in the first place, I did have to delete a lot, or come back a few steps. And the step that I chose was my foundation diploma. My college tutor, her name is Caroline Ruark Davis. The most amazing human being you ever did know, right? I'm not kidding. She is an absolute bloody legend. Her art is, I wouldn't say it's hyper realistic, but she is realistic. She is very geared towards sort of still life. Her still lifes are probably my favourite. There was actually one piece that she did. It was a portrait of a black woman. I think, if I remember her, she had a shaven head. And the colours she used in this portrait was insane, right? And she's so skilled at composition, amazing at mixing colour and understanding colour, and her observational skills are second to none. And the sort of people she's influenced by, I would say, what's his name? Caroline Ruark Davis. Here's her Instagram. Go over and have a look at her work. She is awesome sauce. She was my college tutor, right? And when I started college, it wasn't exactly plain sailing for me when I started, and she would tell you this as well. I had no qualifications. I'd retaken my maths and English at the age of 20, I think. Caroline was the one that interviewed me, and at that moment, and I don't judge her, so don't be horrible to her because she's amazing, right? I don't judge her. I don't look back and think poorly of this situation, but she did my interview, and in her assessment, her professional opinion, which I might add is extensive, she didn't think I was ready for her class, which was a foundation diploma. So she had advised that I be enrolled onto a higher diploma, so a HND. I got my enrolment letter through. I thought it was higher national diploma, the HND. Okay, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was for the foundation diploma. It had the door number on, so the classroom number. It had the time, everything, the date, everything was all for the foundation diploma. So me being me, took my instructions, turned up for the day. Caroline informed me that I was in the completely wrong place. But by this point I was so invested that I actually refused to leave. I was like, no, No, I'm here now. Let's deal with this. Caroline had instructed that I go down to the administration office and see whether in fact the lousy retake of my English was sufficient enough to qualify to be kept on the course. And by grace, by sheer grace, it was enough, and I was able to stay on. I think she probably, I don't know whether it was, but there was a decision that was made whereby they kind of resigned themselves to the fact that I wasn't going anywhere. There I was on a course that I was never meant to be on. Who became the distinction student of that class? Just saying. That was my biggest and bestest ever achievement. Even after I graduated from my bachelor's degree with Winchester School of Art and my master's with the Winchester School of Art, you top my class. I know all this, but my bestest ever achievement in life was getting the distinction for the foundation diploma. But it just shows the level of determination that someone has despite the fact that you can't see it. Yeah, they may not have proven the capability to others or even to themselves in that moment, right? You might not be able to see it, right? And there's nothing tangible about that. So there's no evidence to suggest, oh yeah, this person can do it. And I didn't have any of that. And I'm looking back, I'm aware of that. I think for me, because I knew I wasn't meant to be there in the beginning, it meant more to me that I excelled in this class. Not just for me, but to prove to sort of Caroline and other people. Now, that wasn't out of spite, right? Don't get me wrong. I didn't do it out of spite, like, I'm going to show you. It was like, no, I'm going to do this. You give me the opportunity to stay. And she wasn't convinced. I know she wasn't convinced. But there was so much riding on me excelling, right? Don't get me wrong, it was a hairy few months. I remember making some really weird shit at the beginning that wasn't good, but I really did go hell for leather on that course. It was one of my proudest moments when I got awarded the distinction of that year. Yeah, it was. But I know this is sort of down memory lane, but for me, you know, there is no single journey that isn't trials and tribulations, but it doesn't mean to say that you have to stick to what you've been taught. So for me, having had the degrees, I've had to unlearn a lot of that stuff and not so much unlearn, but sort of take a lot of what I learned with a pinch of salt and not take it too seriously, not take myself too seriously. For me, it was just felt like someone putting your hands around my creative throat, you know, and just asphyxiating it. And before I know it, you know, I was way too deep, and then it took me years to kind of learn all that sort of stuff. So when I started this channel, and this is why the sketchbook is so important to me, right? When I started this channel and subsequently this sketchbook, this was the last things that I remember Caroline teaching me. Okay, so I know that she'll look at this a bit, I didn't bloody teach you that shit. I get it. Don't worry, Caroline. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is the feeling, the intuition that I felt at that time doing these, that happened during that foundation diploma, right? Then whilst I did this sketchbook, everything I was taught throughout the foundation diploma was slowly kind of coming back to me. And I haven't really left that foundation diploma because I'll be honest, other than the fact that it was my greatest achievement, thanks Caroline, I love you, it was also the time I was the happiest creating. Like the pure, unadulterated, unjudgmental, to myself joy, like the world just drops around you, everything just drops around you, becomes like white noise. You don't even realise that anyone's in the room at the time. You're just completely and utterly focused and up to your neck in whatever you're doing, and nothing else matters, you know, where your brain switches off. Now with that, it's a huge relief for me, certainly at the moment, with my brain just farting all over the land. And like a farting ass galloping across a field. this is why this is in 2 parts, because growing it back is it's been a journey, and I feel like I've grown it back. I've still got a way to go, don't get me wrong, and it is a constant struggle. It's constant daily practice, because you are an adult, yeah, and you're always confronted with that adult crap, you know, the really boring shit like bills, taxes, all that kind of good stuff, especially if you're a parent, school run, all that. I get it. Yeah, cars breaking down, washing machines just blowing up in the middle of the, you know, utility area, flooding your house, all that kind of stuff. Ultimately though, if we practice these things that I'll be making on the next video, you will start to see the method in my madness. When you have got your 5 faves, the thing I want you to think about is that garment. Why do you love it? Tell me 5 things therefore of that garment, of that thing that make you happy. Okay, so where's my thing? They happen to be velvet, obviously. Number 2, they're pink. The colour I'm just obsessed with at the moment. Most of my trees are pink. I don't know what's happening. Love it. Can you tell the third? Yeah, sparkly. Absolutely sparkly. I love a sparkle. They're my favourite kind of sparkle, which is holographic sparkle. They make me smile. They make me giggle and laugh. And the other final favourite is that when I wear them, I know that that is going to happen to other people. It could go one of 2 ways. Either one I really couldn't give a bull's neck about, right? But if someone smiles at me wearing these, great. And you can't help but not smile, I'm sorry. Look at them. If someone starts saying, oh, what on earth? Who cares? I love them. I think they're a very versatile garment, if I'm honest. I know that it may seem all over the place, right? With that mood board I made of my room, do something similar. So break these things down into their fundamentals. So if you like the texture, grab a little thumbnail off Google, shove it in your little mood board. Texture. If you like the colour, again, colour, or a combination of colour, remember the palettes. If you like the sparkle, then do that. Do you see what I mean? And then you start to build up a mood board, right? Now this mood board might seem like nothing, but it will make sense for your next video, which is growing it back. So the colours, get the colour on there, the room. What is it about the rooms? Is it specific, like I said, is it a wall? Is it particular wallpaper? Is it because it all matches, or it's symmetry? If it's the symmetry, make sure you get that piece of information. If it's asymmetry, get the asymmetry in there, okay? Or if it's a combination of objects that kind of bring the room together, take a picture, upload them, pop them in your mood board. Get them in. I want to see it all in there. Texture, obviously, if it's an indoor texture, get that. If it's an outdoor texture, get that, okay? Get those textures on there. And obviously your sound. Make sure you have your favourite playlist. Make yourself a playlist. That could be 3 songs, that could be 300 songs. I couldn't give a rat's monkey's butthole, and they will make sense for your next video. Now, I hate leaving you with a cliffhanger, but you smell what I'm selling. You smell what I'm selling. I'm not making you create a piece of work to show you, right, well, make sure you do that. Make sure, no. You've already got it in there. You're not doing any research. You're instinctively going for what you love. And I'm going to show you how to decode that information on the next video about how to grow it back, okay? And namely, growing it back, yeah, this is the first step. So you're already doing it. You're already on the journey, okay? Cliffhanger, I know, but this video would be literally 18 hours long if we continued. Get that done, guys. Get that done. Get the favourite garment, colour, room or wall, area, I don't know, texture, and your favourite sound, your playlist. Get it together. Trust me, it'll be life-giving. Just trust the process, guys.
Yeah, trust the process.
You've got this shit. All right, love you. I'll see you next week.